Welcome back, everybody. And today we're going to go over some new parts we got in the mail and look into the interior some more to get some of that old ductwork out. So, walking over to the table, the tool bench, to look at some of the new parts. I was online. There's the Midwest Drift chat group, for sale page, all that fun stuff. Just posted up randomly. Asked if some people had some E36 LS parts. I'll show you what I found. So what I found were CX Racing engine mounts, engine brackets, and a T56 transmission brace or mount. I got all this from a guy, super nice guy. Shipped this over to me pretty much under a week. It was top notch. Nothing wrong with the group, nothing wrong with the parts or anything. One thing I will be doing is replacing these bolts. They have been in and out. Look like they've gotten, some worn threads. So hardware, not a big problem. Doesn't bother me. And there's some surface stuff, so no big deal. So what I want to try and do, because I haven't seen these mounts on an engine before, so I really want to put the brackets on and just look at it. It's kind of a significant moment to me to see this engine with mounts close to where it's going to be. So I'm going to pull the engine back and fiddle that with a little bit, and then hopefully still in this video I'm gonna get that pesky thing out of there and get some of this dash cleaned out so that I can dig into the wiring. So stay tuned. So looking at my engine here, it is an LS1, as I previously discussed in a couple videos. What I want to get done right now is I want to get these old engine mounts on. Hopefully I can salvage this hardware for now, but I will replace these bolts with some fresh ones when I final install this engine. But I kind of just want to mock it up, kind of see how those look on there, and kind of go from there. This was really interesting too. Look at that play. This mount wasn't even holding really anything. I wonder, are these supposed to move that much in the factory? I wouldn't think so. Or is this just that bent so it's out of shape? Crazy. Thinking about this, I really didn't need to be doing this right now. But like I said in the intro, this is a pivotal moment for me, and I just have to see what it looks like. ask for fingers. Fingers went between the drill or the impact and the engine. Well, to me, this is really cool. So, looking at these brackets, I put them on your center with the bolt holes just to put them on there. But seeing aftermarket parts on this engine and starting to go that route, getting this engine ready to go in the car is huge to me. Looking at the engine, there's so much to do yet. And I still have the ABS in here, all of the HVAC, all the wiring. There's so much yet to do. You know, all the stock heat shield, all that. Yeah, there's a lot of work here, but to me, this engine having brackets on it, knowing that it's nearly ready to be installed in this engine, or in this chassis, that's huge. Those brackets right there, fitting in here, give me room to clear the steering shaft with, I gotta figure out headers yet, but that's huge, knowing that I have what's capable to mount this engine and ready to go. So less talking, let's get into this car, start getting the chassis ready to be married up. All right, so we're back in the interior, looking at all this. So right off the bat, what I wanted to do was kind of flag some wires that potentially will save. It's still unknown yet. If I'm going to do a full chassis harness or if I'm going to try and strip this harness. What I did here is I knew these two go to the window switches because I still have all the window components in. So thought is to try and save it potentially. Right now, I just flagged them, threw some tape on them for now. I don't have painter's tape out here in the garage, it's all in the house. So I'm gonna flag them so I don't cut those wires from all of this. As you can see, I've already cut some wires and that all goes to this mess. Probably from a, stereo install that looked really bad. So I'm gonna get you set up, get the camera set up somewhere and start filming while I pick this apart. Change of clothes. It's been a few days since the last footage. Phone died, which is my camera. Lesson learned, charge it before going out in the garage. Where the footage cut out, stopped last, I was in the interior doing some stuff, so I wanted to catch you up on what I've got done. I kept working, wanted to get the HVAC stuff out, so moved my motor back so I could get access inside. So there's, with interior, getting that gutted, you have to move the steering column mount. Basically this bar is in the way of the box, and then there's the 4 holes there, and then basically up in that corner, might be able to see it, there's a pocket where the coolant lines run, or the AC runs. So you got to disconnect those, get those out of the way. The heater core, there's, in this little shape here, there's some parts. You pull those out, and then the whole unit comes back out. Some things I learned, this cable right here is zip ties to the whole housing. So when you try to pull in, you're pulling wires. So just get back there, snip some wires, and you got access. My favorite tool for cutting zip ties is a flush cut. These are super handy. I was gifted this pair from a buddy, but this pair worked really well. Gets in there. They're also really nice cutting zip ties. You cut them flush. You never cut your hand on a zip tie when you're working. I know plenty of people have done it, and I'm OCD, and I hate zip ties being poking out. So kind of next steps for me is my screwdriver is jammed in there holding the steering column up right now. This front one's the threaded one. That one's just a through hole. Don't do this with threads. Kind of a caveat there for you, everyone. Or kind of a nice thing to remember. But yeah, pull the screwdriver. I'm actually gonna use a punch to help center the hole. That way I can easily get things in. So I'm gonna use this, take the screwdriver out actually. I just kind of put it in there to hold it in while I kind of had a rushed in to do family things. Yeah, next steps, interior. All right, I got you hanging on the door, the passenger side door. I'm gonna continue working. Kind of the goal for right now, clean up this side, try and get all these wire holders out so I can start looking at cleaning up this side and then pulling the wiring. Phone dropped, kind of fell off the mount. Picked up the phone, kind of just want to give an update. Kind of, I don't know what you all caught in that whole sequence. Started pulling all that wiring. There's a ground wire that's dangling right there. Kind of got that disconnected. Kind of mounted the same position over here. One thing to note, I do have the battery disconnected. It's actually not even in the car anymore. Pulled all that out, and so that there's no no power, no charge in the car. I'm not worried about cutting a wire and shocking myself or shorting a wire, causing a fire. There's nothing in this harness that could really do anything. There's no charge. This car's been sitting a few months without any battery connection, really since I pulled the factory motor out and got rid of that. So there's really no power, nothing to be too concerned about at this moment. So yeah, working on a couple grounds, and then I do want to get into the engine bay, start looking at where it comes through the firewall and get all that disconnected. So we're keep trucking. That's what we're doing, a little at a time. So right now, factory fuse box, it's really in the way at this point. So I want to get this out, the firewall connection down here. I want to start figuring out where I can disconnect and pull this side of the harness off, kind of the fuse box. And then that side, I still got to figure out there's one connection that comes through. So I want to get that bulkhead out. So keep going. So on the fuse box, the cover, there's one small screw back there and it got stripped. I had this off, tried to take it off a few months back when I was doing the engine stuff, and I stripped it. I forgot until now. So 8 turns with a vice grip. Here we go. So I didn't know what I was getting into with getting into this. I was hoping there was a bulkhead connection down here. There's not. It's just all the wires that ran through the chassis. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to try and fish them out, or I should just cut them or not. I don't know yet. I'm trying to decide. You know, I don't think this harness is really worth anything, but I don't know. That side's bulkheaded too, except for the power wire. That's separate from that. It's just pass-through wires. So under the dash I go again. But yeah, you can see this is the whole front harness. Goes to the radiator, the headlights, the horn, all that junk I don't need. I just really, need a couple connections for the headlights, and that's it. So that's where I'm at. And that side is more coolant hose, coolant sensors, blah, blah, blah. Garbage. Pretty much garbage. All right. I'm kind of going to close this video out here. I paused the video, kind of just put my head down and worked a little bit. Probably didn't want to see me kind of struggle through the rest of the wiring. So, kind of an update. I got the tray removed and got the other portion of the tray. The entire wiring harness got out. To get this harness out, there was 4 screws from the inside that were pretty big pain to get to. So I gotta so that got out, and now that's out. Probably gonna toss that aside, create a bulk cover plate there at some point. There's a couple of wires that go into the wheel well for probably the brake sensor and stuff. I haven't fished that out. I'll probably get that another day. And then if you come in from the inside, this spaghetti of a mess is just sitting here. I gotta do some little more research. Brake switch here. I need to make sure I save that plug, and then probably a couple other plugs to make sure I don't screw anything up. And then passenger side, the only thing left going through the firewall is the power wire, so I'm gonna leave that. Hopefully try and reuse that a little bit. We'll see. So yeah, I have a pile of garbage. My bucket is full of garbage, and all that. So kind of wrap it up there, and hopefully next time I can get the rest out. So thanks for watching again. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Hopefully can make some more progress next time I'm out here. So thank you. Have a good night.